Os mi beine geche falalo rovio Orne so rovio vi horova o coro Sauna cam se van shell falalo rovio Orne so rovio vi horova o coro Kunjach pat de klein il chach te falalo rovio Orne so rovio vi horova o coro Mach wo ich wie gelein falalo rovio Orne so rovio vi
Hey everybody, this is Tom Mitchell, the Highland Traveler. I've hiked about a mile in here in the Uinta Mountains of Utah. I'm on the Clyde Lake Loop trail and this is Cliff Lake. I'm going to spend the night here. I'm going to spend the next 3 nights up in this area actually. It's about a 5-mile round trip, the full loop. I'm in here to photograph the Milky Way over some of these lakes. It's going to be gorgeous. There's no moon. Clear skies. There's some thunderheads kind of building up, which happens in this country. This lake's I think over 10,000 feet, right around 10,000 feet. The peaks are in here topping 11, pushing 12. Anyway, so that's what I'm going to be doing. So I hope you enjoy this adventure, and talk to you later.
Cerco que essa mala na hirer falalo rovio Orne so rovio vi horova o coro Varam feitje churem rigabel falalo rovio Orne so rovio vi horova o coro Viana gaiche gussen lahe falalo rovio Orne so rovio vi horova o coro Piperak nam feten ar lager falalo rovio Orne so rovio vi horova o coro Klarsig fin kaglesig marischer falalo rovio Orne so rovio vi horova o coro Gite down gachur mrahen falalo rovio Orne so rovio vi horova o coro Gilja wanyan moren gashke falalo rovio Orne so rovio vi horova o coro Ruedi okken teire masheker falalo rovio Orne so rovio vi horova o coro Orne so rovio vi horova o coro
You know the nice thing about having a hammock? You don't need to have a chair. Just pull the bug net up and sit down here and I'm ready to go. So my food's ready. I wanted to show you. So spoons. I brought two. This is the normal one I backpack with. So Ozark Trails Walmart special. The funny thing about this spoon, I've heard some bad reviews, people saying they melt. Not that I've seen. Unless they're like sticking to the fire. I've got like 6 of these. 88 cents a piece, and they're 10 grams. This is a free spoon that comes if you buy a shake. Arctic Circle is a local fast food joint, and we love their shakes, and I've been collecting their spoons just because I like them. But 10 grams, 1 gram. Drilled a hole in it so I can hook it to the carabiner. I'm testing it on this trip, actually. It seems to be holding up fairly fine. Stirring it, it gets a little bit soft and bendy, but it's not that bad. So, Mountain House, it's what I eat for dinner. You know what? It's good stuff, and you can buy it for less expensive than the other brands. But yeah, you know, I mean, this is still hot. I mean, it's hot to touch. It's a little bit hot to hold in my hand. Stirring that around, and it's holding up fine. I mean, I stirred it with the fresh boiling hot water in there, and it's fine. It gets a little bit soft, but not a big deal. Anyway, so if you're looking for an ultralight backpacking spoon, get a spoon, a long-handled spoon from a fast food joint for one of their shakes. I'm going to sit here and eat my dinner now. It's still hot. Almost too hot. Well, I got some dinner in me. The sun has gone down behind the mountain, though it's still an hour or so from setting. It's just after 8, like 8:20, and the mosquitoes have come out. But yeah, I've got my camp all set up. I'm walking down here to show you this perspective I'm going to photograph from tonight, which is really pretty. Check this out. So there's the cliff. That's Mount Washington, that peak. This is Cliff Lake. There's nobody else in here. Nobody else in here camping that I've been able to find. I haven't looked a whole ton, but there was just some day hikers, and I think this may not be far enough in for some people, which I think is funny, because it's a mile in. You know, I mean, you don't have to hike 10 miles into the middle of nowhere. I mean, you can if you want. I think that's great. I do that sometimes, but you don't have to. So, this little peninsula right here, buddy. There's the rest of the lake. So the trail goes around and then goes up through that cliff area and up to another basin and another lake up there. I can't remember which one it is. And then continues on, goes up to Clyde Lake. Oh, look at this. I think I'm going to set up on that rock right there tonight. With my 14mm lens on, I'll be able to get the cliff on the right hand side. You've got some peaks back there in the background, and the Milky Way at about midnight is going to be right there. So I'll have this nice rock, these rocks in the foreground and the shoreline curving around. And that tree, the tree will probably be bending in some. You know, I may not get the cliff with that perspective. I could always walk around to the other end of the lake, but I like this perspective. That tree might be bending in. It's slightly leaning. The 14 will really warp it in, but I like this. Or I could, you know, compose it over a little bit this way, so the Milky Way is just off in this corner over here on the cliff. So a lot of this is just finding a good spot, a good location, and seeing how things are going to turn out. Of course, when it's dark, you know, everything looks different. I did bring one of my loom cubes with me, but I forgot my little gorilla pod. I've got a little gorilla tripod that I can hook to trees and stuff, and I forgot it. So if I use my loom cube, I'm going to have to just lean it up against something. My thought initially was to light that with the, you know, light the cliff, probably put it on like 1%, so it's just really low for the foreground shot, and do a 10 or 15 minute exposure to just help light that cliff, and then do one of the Milky Way and then merge them. So I was going to bring my tracker in here. I've got a move, shoot, move tracker also, but it's just that much more weight. I really bought that thing to shoot from the car when I'm driving to a place that I can shoot with. You know, you start bringing every little thing you think you're going to need, then you end up having a 50-pound pack, and I'm not into that. My pack weighed, I want to say 20 pounds. I weighed it. I can't remember if it was 20 or 25. I'll put it on here. I wrote it down. That was without water, but that was with everything in it that I need to camp, except for the water, you know, water being filled. And then my tripod weighs a couple pounds. That's not counting the tripod, the camera gear. I brought my guitar. If you wondered what that thing was on the back of my pack, that black thing, it looks kind of like a gun case. It's a good little travel guitar. It's a Martin backpacker model guitar. I brought it just so I can have something to do in the afternoons while I'm just sitting around doing nothing, like tomorrow. Could have fished. I could have brought my fishing poles. There's some good fishing in some of this stuff, but that's just, again, more stuff to carry. I'm in here to photograph, not to fish. So I could bring the guitar, though. That guitar is little. It weighs maybe 2 pounds. I need to weigh it and see, but so my pack, all told, with everything I was carrying on me, the guitar, the tripod, the camera gear, the video gear, and a liter of water, I was probably at the 30-pound mark. I don't think it's any heavier than that. But I'm going to go walk up the trail further and look for some different perspectives. Those pretty flowers. That's corn lily, and the purple one is aster, and I'm not sure what these little white ones are. Those are really pretty. They look like a lily of some sort, so maybe they are. Huh. Really pretty. So now I'm around on the north end of the lake, and so looking south, that peninsula is sticking out there, is where I was standing on that other video. This would be really good right here. I think this is the spot. You've got the mountain in the back. See the snow still on it? I don't know if this is picking it up. The cliff. This nice reflection. It's calmer over here to where there's a little bit of wind over there. Of course, this, wind could ripple through here, but this is a good reflection right now. Very, very few clouds. You see some thunder bumpers that have built up in the afternoon over there, but they'll dissipate. It's going to be a spectacular night for photographing the Milky Way, and I think this is the spot. I like this. The shoreline is wide enough over on the left side that the trees aren't going to be too bent from the perspective of that 14mm lens. It should pick up the cliff. I mean, this is not that wide angle, and it's picking up the cliff and that shoreline quite a bit. So I think this is the spot I'm going to shoot this from. Yeah, there's nobody here. Unless there's somebody camped over at this around here further, but I don't think so. I can't hear any voices or anything. Just gorgeous. Pretty flowers all over in here. It's the forest. Yeah, just beautiful. In fact, I think I'm going to go get my camera and get the sunset right here. I should have brought it with me. I'm going to run over and get that, because those clouds might light up in the sunset. They're not spectacular, but it'll be pretty cool. So I'm going to go do that. Just glorious. Hello, little guy. Cute little birds. This is just spectacular. Let me show you what I just got. I really like this. I got this nice, the foreground, those rocks in the foreground, the flowers, the lakes, the lake. Here's my exposure information. I stopped all the way down to 22 because I want to have that foreground sharp. I'm focused out there on those trees. And here's the histogram. I did some bracketing shots. Not spectacular because there's not enough clouds. I've given a lot less sky, so the water is the main feature. Look at that reflection in the water. That's just nice. If there were more clouds, that would just be spectacular. But I don't want more clouds so I can do the Milky Way. So it is, it's one of those things, you just got to do what you do. Get what you get, but for Milky Way shots, you don't want any clouds or minimal clouds. That's fine. At the Milky Way, with those minimal clouds right there, will be fine. They'll probably disperse or be gone by the time it's that dark anyway. It's so quiet now. You hear that one robin singing. Just quiet. No jets flying over. Nothing. I'm the only one here. Mosquitoes are starting to get me. I did spray myself, but yeah, the mosquitoes are really starting to come out. I sprayed myself with some deep woods off, but I want to get another shot of this. That sky's looking better and better. Yeah, this is just really nice. I brought my guitar. I'm going to sit right over on that log. It's my guitar in that black case next to my camera gear, and I'm going to sit and play for a few minutes, or maybe sit on this rock. Mosquitoes, they're not too bad. I mean, they're trying to land on me, but they don't like the bug spray, so. So I set my alarm for midnight and got up and walked down to the lake, went back out onto that rock in the peninsula, on that little peninsula there, and set up and got this photograph. This is the raw, unedited image. You can see, as I was worried about, the 14mm lens has a lot of distortion on it, so that tree on the left is really leaning in, and it actually bends in the cliff there on the right also. I like this picture. It's pretty decent concept. I maybe could have waited for the Milky Way to be a little bit more centered in the image. If I'd waited about another hour, at about 1 o'clock, it would have been more centered. But I liked it, and I didn't want to stay up that late. So what I did in editing it, here's the edited picture. I did perspective correction in Photoshop, so the tree is straight, the cliff looks straighter. The Milky Way is still, it just goes up behind the tree, but I like how it balances out. The light on the right over by the cliff is actually the city lights from Salt Lake Valley, Utah County. See, you're looking towards Camas, so that's probably from Camas right there. It helps give some nice reflection in the water. The sky really reflects well in the water and some of the stars. And the Milky Way isn't reflecting in the water because the shoreline there, but it helps balance it. The cliff, the bright light on the right and the cliff is balanced by the Milky Way on the left and the tree. So I actually like this better edited and corrected for the lens distortion. So I'm quite happy with this picture. I don't know if it's one of my best that I've ever done, but I like it. I think it turned out good. You can see I adjusted the contrast. I always do that with my Milky Way. I don't like overdoing it, but I adjust the contrast, the color balance, and doing some dodging and burning where it just make the core of the galaxy pop out a little bit more. So overall, I'm happy with this. I like the green airglow, and there's also some purplish in the sky right down there above the trees that I think is pretty cool. Good morning. That was a quiet night. Nobody was in here at all. I went to bed about 10 and woke up at midnight and went out and photographed the sky. Only went to the first spot. I think I'm going to move my camp up further up the lake a little bit further up, so I don't have quite so far to walk. It's not that far, but today, and photograph that other spot. I really like it here. It was a plane. Anyway, I don't know what time it is. It's probably about 6:30. Anyway, but yeah, some fishermen just came hiking in. Just came past me, so I heard them as I was getting up. Anyway, I'm gonna go photograph the reflection on the water here. This is really beautiful. You check this out. Here's the raw, unedited photograph I took just before I shot that video. I like it, but it needed some help. So here it is, just slightly adjusted, warmed up a little bit, some slight color adjustments on it. I really like this shot. I think this is just really beautiful. Doesn't matter that there's no clouds. This was all about the reflection, and I'm really happy with how this turned out. Isn't that just gorgeous? I mean, absolutely beautiful. Spectacular morning. I'm gonna go walk up the lake a little ways and poke around. I should have got up earlier, but whatever. Dang, mosquitoes are really starting to come out. I've been poking around along the lake, just getting some great shots. I got up a little too late, but it doesn't matter. Found a spot I'm going to move down to, I think. Just a little bit better trees to hang in, a little bit better spot. And I think I want to spend another night here. I wasn't planning on it, but I don't have to be anywhere specific. So let me show you my camp so far, what I've got. You can see I just hung my backpack off of my one trekking pole that I'm using to support it in porch mode. I got my guitar and my camera bag hanging right here, and my hammock, my tarp. This is the 14-foot winter tarp, as he calls it, by Danny at Superior Gear. My hammock's one Superior Gear hammock, the bug net, the quilt. I really like this system a lot. This system, I talked to a guy last night actually who I was coming out, and he said, yeah, I was checking out your hammock. I was standing here talking to him, and he asked if I was using a sleep pad, like an insulated sleep pad, and I'm like, no, this has got a built-in underquilt. And he didn't even really know what an underquilt was. I told him, I said, underquilts are really the way to go. And this has got a built-in underquilt, which is really, really nice. You don't have to adjust it. There's no breeze coming in. This system's rated to 15 degrees. It's a little heavier than a summer system. I actually have been thinking it was 5 pounds. I weighed it yesterday, and it was almost 7. It's like 6.8 pounds. That's with the bug net, though. In the winter, I don't use the bug net. That's with the bug net, and yeah, that probably adds about 6 or 8 ounces. I don't know, but it's really comfortable. My thermometer died. I've got a little thermometer that I carry, and the battery died. I've got a new battery I've got to throw in it. It probably got down to 45, 50 degrees in here. I'm thinking even colder than that. I ended up sleeping with my jacket and my gloves on, and ended up getting a little warm. Had to just kick the quilt off a couple times, just open it up, but it was really nice. So this is the first edition of the Superior Gear hammock and bug net. They since have discontinued this edition with the bottom entry bug net. You just pull the cord lock, undo the cord lock, and open up and to climb in. They've discontinued this, and they now have a zip-on bug net, which I think is a cool idea. I'm just going to stick with this one because it's not he can't retrofit this hammock to go with the new bug net system. So I'm just gonna keep it. I mean, I have 2 of these. I ended up getting 2 of them, so my wife or anybody else wanted to come with me could. But it's really nice. I just really like it. Slept pretty comfortable. I could have hung the foot end higher. I had the foot end actually a little lower. I was actually going to sleep in it the other way, and then I was like, wait, I want the view out at the lake. So this is, the backpack's in the way, but that's the view looking out. You can just see Mount Washington back there a little bit, and the lake. But anyway, yeah, I really like this. Is a really big tarp inside. I've got it set high. I could almost stand up in here. So it's It's a really nice system if you're interested in getting a hammock. Superior gear is really the way to go. They're spendy, but they're just really high quality stuff.
Oh, there came a letter yesterday. Our ship it will sail out more. Alas, cried my bonny lass, that ever I were born. And it's for us sailing up the sea, when wind and weather's fair. But it's better to be in my love's arms. I wish that I were there. So when I went to her farmhouse, it's 12 o'clock at noon. The lassie being proud-hearted, she would not let him in. And it's for us sailing on the sea, when wind and weather's fair. But it's better to be in my love's arms. I wish that I were there. So she's taken the ring from her pocket, cost her shillings a night, saying, take this ring, my bonny lad, for I've changed my mind. So he's taken the ring from his pocket, cost them goodies for ease, saying, take this ring, my bonny lass, and I think well of me. And it's for us sailing on the sea, when wind and weather's fair. But it's better to be in my love's arms. I wish that I were there.
So this is a really great trail with spectacular views. I'm just about to, probably half a mile, a little bit less than that, to Clyde Lake. And there's an overlook over here. You can look off. Check this out. I'm not going to walk over there, but you get the same gist from right here. So that's Wall Lake down there. The center round-topped mountain is Baldy. The one to the left, the pyramid peaked, is Reeds. The one to the left of that is Notch. Just gorgeous in here.
When wind and weather's fair, but it's better to be in my love's arms. I wish that
So I got to Clyde Lake and decided to just take the little jaunt. It's not far at all, just up to Butler. I think it's Butler Lake. So I'm here at Butler, and I just need to go find a camp spot. I think I'm gonna, here's the lake, goes back over there and across to here. I think I'm gonna go camp right over there on that side. I want to be looking south. This is a small enough lake, it should get nice and clear at night when the wind quits blowing, and be able to see Mount Washington right there. in the picture with one patch of snow still on it. This is just gorgeous area. This is all glacial carved. I've got my my camp set up, my hammock set up, and I think I'm really going to like this spot. Check this out. So here's my setup right here in these trees. Put it on this side porch mode so I can go in and out this side, which is the lake side, as it were. I'm literally, running the hammocks running north and south, but the end of my hammock, well, let's see. Okay, starting here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 15 paces to the water's edge. Isn't that just gorgeous? That's Mount Washington. Look at that big patch of snow over there. It's maybe 70 degrees when that breeze blowing. It's nice and cool. 100 degrees down in the Salt Lake Valley. I think some other people set up and camping over there. I saw them coming in with backpacks, and I hear voices. I don't mind other people being around if they're not noisy. Last night I had the whole place to myself. So here's the little shady grove. There's a fire circle. We can't have fires right now in Utah in places like that. Only in improved campgrounds with concrete fire rings because of the drought. It's really just best practice if you backpack into a place like this to not have a fire anyway. I mean, if it was cold weather, if I was in here in October, November, I might. There's a lot of dead wood around. But this is a nice little shady spot with my tarp up. I wouldn't hang the tarp, except there are chances of thunder showers. You can see that. It probably won't happen, but up in this high country, you can get isolated thunder showers. So it's really nice. I mean, it's just so close to the water. The mosquitoes are going to be bad once it cools off for a little bit, but they don't bug me that much. I get bit and it doesn't even bother me. And this is just around the backside. You've got corn lilies growing here, Indian paintbrush. This little stream running in. This is where I came in from right here. But I think I'm going to shoot the Milky Way from right here. Mount Washington will be right in the picture on the right side of the picture, and the Milky Way will be on the left, going right across there. At midnight, it'll be right there going across. So, and if it's calm, the water will be perfect, and it should be. These thunderheads all move, they go away after the heat of the day, and by midnight it's very nice. There was a couple clouds last night at midnight over on the horizon, but not much. So this is really going to be nice. Then looking back at the campsite, you can see my camouflage hammock back in there. Have I ever told you camo's my favorite color? Anyway, yeah, this is just nice. I don't know what time it is. I think it's probably about 1 o'clock. I'm getting hungry, so I'm gonna make me up some food and then relax, play my guitar, and just chill out. Well, I ate lunch, took a few pictures, scouted some spots, and then took a nap. Feel a lot better. It's been little windy, gusty winds with spattering rain there for a little bit, but so this is my backpacking guitar. It's literally the Martin Backpacker. It's a Martin guitar made in Mexico that is a very strange shaped guitar. A lot of people think it's some kind of medieval instrument, but it's just strung like a guitar. It's not that easy to play. It's kind of difficult. You can't sit and play it, so you have to have a strap. Doesn't sound great. It's a short scale, kind of a chunky large neck, and it's a little hard to, that scale makes it hard to wrangle. That's the term I like to use, trying to just get it to play right. But so it's a fun little guitar to take along. Just to practice is what I bring it for. It's more of a practice guitar. This thing is hard to play. Plus, I'm a little out of practice. But that's why I brought it, so I could try to practice. But it's a difficult guitar to play. So anyway, yeah, this is just beautiful here. Let me show you this view. Look at that. That's the view straight behind the camera. Just gorgeous. Now the light's starting to get a little bit better. Give it another hour or two, and I'm going to go poke around and photograph some things I found. So even though I'm camping in here to photograph the Milky Way, I've been looking for lots of other objects, obviously. Wildflowers and just pretty scenes. Here's a scene I found I just really like, and I've just been waiting for the light to get right. Oh, the bugs are getting bad. Let me show you this. So, you know, here's just the big scene. The lake, the mountain. Try to, and I'm not always that great at this, but try to find scenes in a scene, as it were. Like that. Just these three cool little trees. The light's getting nice. That blue water behind them makes a nice background. I'm up high, up on a rock here. Let me show you. So it's about finding the right perspective. And there's my camera up on this rock, looking down. I wanted to be able to get the trees so that the lake was totally behind them. Now see, from where I'm at down lower now, it doesn't. You're getting the shoreline over there. So I needed some elevation, and I was able to find just the right spot to get up and get that. So I really like this composition. I'm just going to sit here and wait for the light to change. I've shot it numerous times throughout the day, and I'll show all those how the light changes on a subject throughout the day. And hopefully one of them, the light, I'm not sure what it's going to do, because as the sun goes further west, these trees that are here off to the side are going to start casting a shadow on those trees. So I've got to just time it right to where the light is still there, but before the shadow gets there. So I don't know how much longer my battery's going to last. I tried to charge them with both of my power banks that I brought. I forgot to recharge, and they're dead. So I may not be able to keep shooting video like this on this little venture. If that happens, I'll just show you the pictures that I've done and do some voiceovers on them. So we'll see. See, the sun just went behind a cloud, and see how much it changed. Just a matter of kind of watching and waiting and catching it right. So here's the sequence of photographs I took of these three cool little trees as the light changed throughout the day. I moved the camera occasionally here and there, but you can see how just the light shifts, the wind blowing or not blowing on the water. That one's probably my favorite right there. I just find it really interesting sometimes to sit on a subject and watch the light change and photograph it in all the different conditions of the light changing. Here's a wider view of it. I really like that. And then as I sat there, I saw other neat things. This trees as the sun was going down, and then this great shot here of the reflection. Then I went to bed and got up at midnight and got this. The first few shots were the best. The clouds were coming in, and the longer I waited, the more the clouds actually pushed in. So the first few shots were the best with minimal clouds. I really love how this turned out. I really love that red glow in the sky, giving a sunrise or sunset effect. That's the town of Roosevelt, probably, giving some night glow there. The clouds really help to give it, in a shot like this, some interest and some depth. And then the Milky Way just coming across there. I knew the Milky Way was going to be in that spot at about midnight. So, and then Mount Watson over there on the right coming down in, and some nice reflection in the water. Not spectacular, but enough of a nice reflection that it's pleasant. I really am happy how this one turned out. Good morning. It's 7 a.m. I got up about 6:30 and went out and got some photographs of the sunrise. Got up at midnight. I went to bed about 10. Set my alarm for midnight. Got up at midnight, photographed the Milky Way. Got some okay stuff. There were some clouds, which was annoying, but I got some okay stuff, I think. And then woke up at 6:30 and went out and photographed the sunrise here on the lake, and now I've just climbed back in bed. But check out this view from my hammock. Pillows. I bring 3 pillows because I like sleeping nice on my stomach, but this is through the bug mesh, so it's a little bit hard to see. Let me lift it up. So here's my view with the bug mesh out of the way. Check that out. Literally laying here in the hammock. There's Mount Washington off to the side there. The lake is right there. It doesn't get any better than this. The mosquitoes have been a little bit of a problem, but not really bad. This is the view. Just spectacular. So yeah, like I was saying, I bring 3 pillows. These are an inflatable pillow by Outdoor Vitals that I got 2 of them. I really like these things. They pack easy. This is my luxury item. This is actually the travel pillow by My pillow. I really love their pillows. And this little travel pillow packs up pretty small. I pack it up and put it in a watertight bag and make room for it. It's just one of the luxuries. I like having three because I put one between my legs when I'm sleeping on my side, and then I put one up under my arm, whichever side I'm sleeping on. So there's a little tip for sleeping in a hammock if you're a side sleeper like I am. I rotate, I'll end up on my back and on either side, and I just move the pillow. One stays between my legs, and the one that goes underneath my side just moves with me throughout the night. Anyway, yeah, it rained a little bit during the night, and it's been cloudy. It's cloudy again, though it's kind of clearing from what it was. Odd, there was no weather forecast for storminess or clouds this whole week. That's part of the reason I came to do the Milky Way. But when you're at 10,000 feet, that's just the way it is. Clouds will build up in here. Surprised it didn't get that cold. I mean, I literally hardly slept underneath my top quilt all night long. It was very warm. The night before last, when I was down at Cliff Lake, it was cold in the morning, like 40. By about probably 2 a.m. it got down to about 40 degrees, but it's every bit of still 60 here right now. I'm really, really oddly warm. But it might be that the storminess that's pushing in from the south is bringing some warm air with it, and the wind is pushing up through here. It's not too windy now. It was pretty windy. That's what actually woke me up. Anyway, so today's next adventure, I'm going to pack up and head back to Cliff Lake and set up and spend the night there again in another spot that I found. Oh, there's my weather forecast come in from my GPS unit. Anyway, I'm going to spend the night at Cliff Lake again in another spot that I liked that's like 20 feet from where I want to photograph. And we'll see. It depends on what the weather is, I may just leave. This is my InReach, my Garmin InReach. I went for the bigger one. You can get the mini, which is really nice and small. I wanted the bigger one so I could actually navigate with it if I need to, not have to link it to my phone. So I really like it. It's like $15 a month for the subscription, and it just gave me a weather forecast. I asked for a weather update to see. So that's my plan for this day. I'm gonna eat some breakfast and pack up and hike back down to Cliff Lake, and then either leave from there or set up and spend the night. We'll see. So I packed up and headed out. This is looking back across the Divide Lakes, Booker Lake. My camp was on the other side over there. You cross around Clyde Lake, and you can come up to an overlook and see this little unnamed pond. And I noticed something interesting in this little pond. There were footprints down in the mud. Looked like somebody had gone walking around in there. There were two different sizes of footprints, and I don't know. It could have been a bear. I don't know why a person would go in there. Just very odd. And then this is looking just from that overlook off at Wall Lake, and you can see the Notch and the other peaks in there. Beautiful views. This is Watson Lake from above before you drop down and go around past it. It's a beautiful scene. This is Watson Lake looking back up at Mount Watson that I keep calling Washington. Just really like this. This is just daytime stuff that I just like getting shots of. And then this is Cliff Lake. As you're coming around looking down onto Cliff Lake from there, and then I ended up going to the spot that I liked and setting up. There's my camp for the last night. Set up there, no fire, not using the fire ring because of the fire restrictions. And there's a wide angle shot of the hammock hanging there underneath the tarp. Just thought it was kind of cool to do. And then here is the shot of literally from the hammock looking out from under the tarp of the view with the lake down there. I set up just a little ways from the lake so that the mosquitoes wouldn't be so bad. Then during the day, when there's a lot of people that think there's not a whole lot to do, I like to go out and explore like this, just going out and poking around, finding interesting scenes to photograph. Nothing spectacular, stuff that I probably wouldn't try to sell because the light's just not right. It's too high in the afternoon. But the biggest thing I like to do is find areas like this and then go poke around and explore in them for pika and for squirrels, for chipmunks and marmots. Just a great place to go. Sit for hours, literally sit for hours watching and getting shots like this of these cute little pika. Just really fun. It takes a lot of patience and time just sitting still and waiting for him to come up. But I got a couple really good shots, some close-up shots of him. And then this one I noticed from up on from where I was sitting, that fireweed growing right out of the rock, which I just thought was really cool. So these are the things I do during the daytime when I'm sitting around kind of waiting for the light to get right and nothing else to do. I'll plunk on my guitar some and then just go poke around, just go sneak around, watch the animals, watch the flowers, the bees, and just enjoy nature and being in it and being part of it. So I sat up on a flat rock overlooking the water just to sit and watch the sunset. End up getting this photograph just as the sun was going down. Really like how it turned out. Here's another one as the sun was setting, the sky lighting up in the sky. Just really, really like how the light changed and how the sky just started to explode. This one right here, it just got really, really beautiful. Just couldn't believe how gorgeous red the sky got. It was so fun just sitting there watching this go by. I got up at 1 o'clock, went back to a spot I'd picked and photographed this. I am so happy with how this turned out. This was such an amazing shot. I knew if I waited till 1, the Milky Way would be right where I wanted it to be. And I couldn't be happier with this, how it turned out with the little bit of light from the city lighting the cloud that was right over the cliff. The Milky Way being just in that right position with it reflecting in the water. I woke up the next morning and was really happy to see all these gorgeous clouds, just big, beautiful, puffy clouds. So I started photographing. I really love how this one turned out, but I had to do a panoramic of it also because I just thought, it's so cool. I just needed a nice sweeping panoramic. I think this was 21 vertical pictures. This is the sun was just starting to hit the cliff. I really like how it turned out. And then backed up and got this one of Mount Watson in the background also. The reflection in the water of these clouds was just amazing. Then I ended up going poking around the south end of the lake and found to the outlet and found a whole rocky area of nothing but beautiful little columbine and photographed them in with the rocks, the sound of the water coming through, and those little columbine just gorgeous. I just had to photograph it. Well, it's Friday morning, 9 o'clock. I'm all packed up, ready to go. I slept really good. Went to bed about 9:30, 10:30 or so. I don't know. I didn't look. The family came hiking through in the dark to go camping in here. This is a really well-traveled trail, the Clyde Loop Trail, the trail to Cliff Lake and up to Clyde Lake. There's been really a lot of people on the trail. Dang mosquitoes. I think only one other person camped in here last night, though. I got up at about 5:45 and went photographing the sunrise and saw some guy getting up and leaving down on the other end of the lake. but I got some fantastic pictures. I'm really happy with the stuff that I got on this trip. I got something last night of the Milky Way that I really think is going to be cool. I'll show that on here. So I've got about a mile to get back to the parking lot is all. That's part of the reason I like this. This is because it's short, sweet, a lot of traffic like I was saying, but some really cool stuff. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching and happy trails.